Egging and TPing a home on Halloween are pretty common, but a frowned upon thing. Teens tend to do things like this, and some people will just say that kids are being kids. But what happens when an egging ends in murder? Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel and Killer Concepts, the place where we talk about all things true crime. My name is Peyton. If you are new here, please make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below and turn on your post notifications so that you do not miss any future content. Today's video is going to be another pretty short one. They just seem to be that way as of lately. We're going to talk about a car egging on Halloween in 1998, which would lead to the murder of a 21-year-old man named Karl Jackson. There isn't too much on this one, but I wanted to share it with you because we are approaching Halloween, and sometimes along with it comes senseless violence. Crime rates actually increase over the holiday. This case was definitely not the first or last case that we know of where this sort of thing has happened. I wasn't originally going to post a video this week, but I couldn't leave you guys hanging with nothing, so we're doing this one. Halloween's coming up. I haven't had a chance to do Halloween videos like I have in the past, but we are doing this, and I'm hoping next week maybe I can do something about Halloween. Let's get started. So the victim in our short case today was named Karl Jackson. Jackson had turned 21 years old a couple weeks prior to the incident that would end his life. Jackson was known to be a quiet young man who worked as a computer programmer at Morgan Stanley. His mother was a nurse and his father was a postal worker. Jackson was not a huge fan of Halloween, and according to his family, he pretty much avoided going out on the holiday at all costs. This was because he thought it was too dangerous. Jackson lived in the Bronx, in New York, which is already a crime-heavy area and was known to get pretty violent on Halloween. But on the Halloween of 1998, Jackson would make an exception for his 29-year-old girlfriend, Darlene, at the time. Earlier in the evening, Jackson had taken Darlene's 9-year-old son, Clyde, to a party near Gun Hill Road in the area. Jackson and his girlfriend had only gone back out to pick him up and take him to a babysitter's so the two could then go to another party. When on the way to pick the child up, eggs would strike Mr. Jackson's car. Karl Jackson would get out of his car where a confrontation would occur between himself and the young boys who egged his vehicle. After he would get back in his car and start to drive away, one of the people who egged his car would get into a car and pursue him. When they would catch up to him a couple blocks down, they would shoot him once in the temple. This would happen at approximately 11:15 p.m. in the Crotona Park section of the Bronx. Jackson would be taken to the Jacobi Medical Center where he would be pronounced dead. Jackson's father stated the following about the incident, quote, "A young life was snuffed out over nothing, but that's what Halloween has gotten into. He never used to go out on Halloween. He always said it was too dangerous, even as a teenager. But this year he wanted to take the child out." End quote. And his mother said, quote, "I think it took us 2 years to even talk about it. We were just devastated. We never thought that anyone from our family would be murdered, especially on a holiday, for something stupid." End quote. Hey guys, so when I was filming, I actually forgot to say something. I did not find anything about the people who egged Jackson's car and the one who murdered him. It makes me think that they may have been minors, so they couldn't report about it. But I did not find anything about anybody being charged, so I'm thinking they were probably minors. Unfortunately, like I said, Jackson's murder was not the beginning or the end of Halloween murders in the area of the Bronx due to egg-related incidents. Since 1984, at least 24 people have either been seriously wounded or murdered in stabbing, shootings, beatings, or accidents sparked by egg throwing, resulting in confrontations. The New York Post mentions the following. In 1994, a 12-year-old boy was stabbed to death after two men who were walking by were hit by eggs that were meant for the boy's friends during an egg fight. In 1994, a 29-year-old man that was bringing a new tricycle home for his son was struck by eggs by kids. When the man threw a water bottle at them, he was shot and killed. In 1995, a man was shot to death after confronting kids who hit him with an egg. And in 1996, a 10-year-old boy in Brooklyn was killed by a stray bullet that only happened because of an altercation due to a nearby egg fight. These are only some of the incidents that have resulted from egg fights. It is honestly kind of crazy when you think about it, egging ending in murders, but it happens. My heart goes out to the families of all those that have lost a loved one so senselessly over something that really does seem so silly. It's just crazy. After reading so much about this, I knew it happened, but I didn't think it was as big of a thing as it was. My suggestion is just don't egg anybody's houses, cars, or their person. Our house and my sister's car was egged when I was a kid, and it sucked. It can ruin paint. My parents had a terrible time getting it off. In that case, it was used as a form of bullying. Just don't do it. It's not the best thing to do. And yes, kids will be kids, but like in these kinds of situations, something so small should not be what causes the end of somebody's life. It really shouldn't. Things like TPing houses, egging cars, smashing pumpkins, they may all seem fun at the time, and they can be until you get in trouble for it or you're ruining somebody's property. I just suggest not doing it. It is what it is. My heart goes out to Karl Jackson's family, and like I said, any of the other people who have died from an incident like this. With that being said, next week I think we are going to cover another case that kind of has to do with Halloween. It most likely won't be out till Thursday. I'll try and get it out sooner than that if I can. Hopefully I can get it out by Halloween, but it may be a little bit after. I found another one that I want to talk about that I thought was interesting, where a man who was a playwright, I believe, decided to dress up like a firefighter and break into a coworker's house where he held her captive for several hours. So I want to talk about that case. If you have not done so already, like I said in the beginning, please make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below and turn on your post notifications. I do want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I got a decent amount this past week with my Ruth Ellis video, which makes me super happy because I loved making that video. It was an interesting case to research, and I worked really hard on it, so I'm happy it's turning out pretty well for me. If you want to stay up to date with me, or you like true crime facts and stuff, please make sure to follow me on Instagram, and all my other social media handles will be down below in the description box as well as like some of I have affiliate links to some of the stuff on my desk here and my backdrop. I've had a lot of people ask me about that. So if you like any of that stuff, that'll also be down below. If you have any case suggestions or anything you would like to hear me talk about, or just any questions in general, you can send them to killerconceptsvlog@gmail.com, or you can just comment them down below. So with that being said, I know that one was a short one, but I hope you enjoyed my small case. Before you go, just remember that the world's most dangerous minds hide in the most unlikely places, and to stay safe.